Yes, sir. You super straight.
Okay, yes, sir.
Okay, we're about to go live now. There's a button notification. Okay, perfect. Boom. And we are live. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to a very special edition of Off the Record on the People's Podcast this afternoon. We have an incredible guest with us, one we're looking forward to get some information from as well as some inspiration, and that is none other than the martial artist himself, Brother James X Clagan. How are you doing today, Brother James?
I'm good, big brother. How are you?
Excellent, sir. Excellent, sir. It means a lot that you would take time out of your busy schedule to come on the People's Podcast. The first question that we have for you today, sir, is how did you get into martial arts?
I started in martial arts with GM, going back and forth to Chicago. That was my introduction, like the rest of the FOI, following under GM. And once I got moving around in the DC, Maryland area, I was introduced to Grandmaster Samuel Scott at Full Circle Martial Arts Academy in Maryland. And I actually introduced those two, and pretty much, got permission, from GM to work out with Grandmaster Samuel Scott. And it's been a great relationship. Me and Grandmaster Samuel Scott been knowing each other now, I think, since I want to say 2004, 2005, that we've been knowing each other and as brothers and working out together.
Beautiful. And what type of martial arts do you do with him?
We do a combat kuntao, which is another similar to Sanukas. It's a street martial arts.
Okay, great. And how, if somebody is watching and wants to learn about combat Kuntao,
Yes, sir.
yes, sir. How do we contact you and how do we learn? Are you on YouTube? Are you on Facebook? How, like, how do you see the techniques?
Well, it's more grandmaster. I'm still a student, so
Mm.
I work out with Grandmaster Samuel Scott. So his school is Full Circle Martial Arts Academy, and that's in Capitol Heights, Maryland.
Yes, sir.
So,
Wonderful. That's amazing. Yes, sir. And what is it about that style that drew you to it?
well, it what drew me to it was similar to Sanukas, and I couldn't get an instructor like I needed to living in DC, Maryland. And Grandmaster Samuel Scott was just a great, he's a great brother, a great friend, a great instructor. And we hit it off as outside of martial arts as just great friends. And the school is so family oriented, and everyone is, everyone is real nice, and we train together. I learned from some great women that's gurus and black belts, and now two of our gurus was just um, they just moved up the ranks into to masters now. So and they were my and they are my instructors as well. So the school is great. It's family oriented, and I can get it real close to me when I was living in Maryland, DC. Now that I live in Virginia, I still, starting to go back up, at least two or three times a month. I'll go up and train with the family up there.
Okay, great. Yes, sir. And you said some of the women are instructed you as well.
Oh, yes, sir. And one of the things that I like with working with some of the women on the team is they have to rely on the technique, where with men, sometimes we use our strength. So working with women, a lot of them know they can't they're not stronger than us. So they have to rely on techniques. So working with women, I was able to hone in more on my techniques. They showed me a lot of little things that I learned working with women, because like I said, they just have to rely on technique. And I have Guru Johanna, Master Valencia. She just picked up master, I'll say a few months ago, and I was there for that. There's a lot of great sisters on, there that helped me out along the way.
Okay, great. Yes, sir. As someone who likes to fight, that's good to hear that you say that, women, can teach you and that you're humble enough to learn from them. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I learned a lot from them. They know the program really well. Um, and the main thing to me, it was just it's just a family there at Full Circle Martial Arts Academy, a real family. So it's a comfortable environment, and I enjoy it.
Excellent, sir.
So,
Praise be to Allah. Well, when did you first hear the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad?
wow. So I was raised in the nation. I was came up in Mosque 25 in Newark
Okay.
with Brother Kadir back then. So he's been my local minister from that time all the way up until recently, a couple of years ago when I moved here to Virginia. So yeah, I grew up in the nation, and it was before I knew anything about security, because that's what I'm a security professional now. Before I knew anything about security, I was always I can remember just being a little boy watching the minister and the team move, and then me being a junior FOI, got a couple chances to hold posts as a junior FOI in Newark. Man, that was wild. And I remember one time in Newark, the minister came and spoke, and you know, he walked so fast in the team, and they walked right past us, and I left post and I ran down because I just like I gotta see him, and I ran, I left the post. I think I had been probably, I don't know, 10, 11 years old, something like that. And I left the post and I tried to run downstairs to go see him. And they had, the motorcade moved quick. So by the time I got down there, they was gone. I was like, wow, But yeah, so I was raised in the nation.
Wonderful. Yes, sir. Well, okay, great. Well, what advice would you give to people who want to go into martial arts?
I would say it's something, it's you got to want to do it, and the same for myself. My brother, actually, he was into martial arts before I was, and now I'm further along in it than he is. So I would tell people who want to get into it is go and just go and try it out. Take a couple classes to the dojo that you want to go to, and just see what's being taught, and if you like it. It's I always took I would recommend you take your pen and pad if you like it, to start taking notes while you're in class. But yeah, I would recommend you watch some videos. Listen, everything is on YouTube now. It's a lot of great videos with Grandmaster Aziz now, GM, and Grandmaster Samuel Scott. Those are the main two who I watch or get videos from. And I watch them and study them. And then along the way, I'll pick up other things from different other instructors that they may recommend that I look at.
Okay, great. Yes, sir. Being that you've done martial arts and do security as well, uh, has there ever been a time that you've been faced with fear? And if so, how have you overcome that fear?
Yes, I've traveled all over the world doing executive protection. I started off when I was in the Navy, and it's a funny story for that, and I'll tell you about that, growing up in the nation and then going into the Navy. But I traveled all over the world doing executive protection. I had got some great training, and you're always going to have fear, and that's a natural thing. And once I learned uh, that and accepted that, it helped me more um, than you trying to run away from the fear. I call it like your generator. It keep you more alert. Um, keep your head more on the swivel, and as you move more in, because I've been in some real hot spots around the world, and no one that does it, I don't care how long you've done it, I guess it's like playing sports. Every game you're going to have, you're going to have some fear to the first hit, and then you kind of go from there. And, doing security or martial arts is the same. Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, great. Yes, sir. Well, let's talk about you growing up in the nation and joining the Navy. What was that like?
Yes, sir. So my father, everyone know in Jersey, brother Pete, him and brother Kadir and brother oh my goodness, brother Sterling, may Allah be pleased with him. That was the best bean pie. I say that's the best bean pie in the nation. And his son, I keep in contact with Caleb a little bit. Caleb he's right there, But uh, being raised in the nation, we had some strong men, and my father was he was a strong, tough man, and he loved the minister, he loved the nation. That's how he ran his household. And so the funny story of with me going into the military is my father was very strong head, and I was, with his son, I'm the same way. And we got into a real argument or disagreement on something. I don't even remember what it was now. And I said to get back at him, I told him I'm going into the Navy, Well, I said I was going into the military. I had no idea. Was no plan going into no military. I just wanted to make him mad, And he wouldn't back down. I didn't back down. And next thing you know, I'm in boot camp. I'm in Great Lakes, Chicago, in Illinois, and I went through the whole boot camp, the whole Navy for 14 years, and I thank a lot for that experience, because it allowed me to have my security company and do a lot of things that I do around the world, and learning from that. I work with NCIS, State Department, Secret Service, and then the training of the FOI. When I was able to put my own security company together, I had a lot to pull from, and that allowed me to really, get a good foundation, for my security company traveling around the world.
Great, wonderful. Yes, sir. And how were you ever able to mend the situation with your father in the Navy?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. My father passed back in 2013. And that, once the whole got past that whole little stubbornness, I mean, that was that was my man. So we still had our disagreements, but nothing, I thank Allah for that. He didn't die with me not saying, I wish I'd have said this, or I wish I'd have did that, or, we, because of him, really, that's how I fell in love with the minister and the nation. So for me, it was never, whatever the minister tell us to do or not do, I didn't never had to try to figure out why or why he said this, or, it was just easier for me to say, the minister said, do this or don't do this. And then, and that's what I did. So, and I thank a lot for him, because I might not know the minister in the proper context that I know him if it wasn't for my father. So I'm always thankful for Allah for my father, Brother Pete, and everyone knew him in Newark and Plainfield, New Brunswick, Moss, that they knew him well up in Jersey. And before he passed, he was down at the mosque here, or the study group down here in Norfolk. So he's real big. He's known down here as well.
Allah be pleased. Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Thank you. My sister Naima says, peace, family. Thank everyone who continues to listen to Tracy says, assalamu alaikum. Thank everyone who continue to like, share, and subscribe to the People's Podcast. Everyone, once I put this on YouTube, can you please make sure that you all like and comment? Every comment matters. Thank you very much. Sister Tracy, I'm coming right back to your Sister Tracy has a question for you about about women
Yes.
But I want to have a quick 60-second commercial break for all of the sponsors of the People's Podcast. 1 second. Here we go. I want to thank everyone who has continued to be a sponsor and a donor. All of the donations count, and thank you all who will continue to support the People's Podcast. Thank you very much. I want to start with my brother. If you all like to be a sponsor or donor, please cash at the People's Podcast. Thank you, everybody who's watching. I want to start with my brother Rashad's company, Street Premiere Media Production. He has a 4K camera, a drone. He does television and film editing. Thank you very much. Reach out to him if you need anything. My sister Miriam, ABC I Love Me, children's book and coloring book, both of which are available on Amazon. Also, my sister Naima, Stay on Point Dance Academy, LLC. She teaches ballet virtually to young girls all across the country and right here in Atlanta, Georgia, in studio. We love our tiny dancers. My brother's out from the West Coast, MTS Car Bros. Any make, any model, any year, 30 to 50% off. Make sure you reach out to them for all of you all's vehicles. Raw Communications, Sister Rashida, she does a great job. If you were trying to write a book and you need some copy editing, project management, content development, media relations, or consulting, Raw Communications. If you all need any copy editing, project managing, content development, or media relations, please contact Raw Communications today. Thank you very much, Sister Rashida. Sister Melva in Houston, Texas, in the elevated places where I am what God says I am. They make young kings and queens, engineers, all type of great individuals come out of that school in Houston, Texas. Sister Sherry with Asiatic Minds Online School. If you are don't want to send your children back into the school system and want to teach them online virtually, AsiaticMindsOnline.com. Reach out, AsiaticMinds.com. Great job. Brother Kenneth, bow tie maker extraordinaire. He'll ship bow ties to you all across the country. We're coming right back to our martial art expert and security expert as well. Brother James, thank you very much. In just one moment. Also, Sister Shireen Muhammad at agrichild.com. Sister Shireen Muhammad at agrichild.com. Choose Life, Seed of Greatness, her book, Why I Wear My Headpiece, just all of her books, all of the information that you need. If you all have a book and like to put it in the bookstore or order a book, agrichild.com. Sister Shireen, thank you very much for your support. Also, Dr. Henry M. Carter, King Henry Turkey Legs, right here in Atlanta, Georgia. Brother Rashad Muhammad, COVID-19 disinfecting cleaning services out of Chicago. Make sure you get that. My father's book, A Soldier in the Movement of Christ, AbdulSharif.com. And last but not least, my two books, Cleopatra, which is on Amazon, is a children's book, and No Father, No Excuse. Thank you all very much, both of which are on Amazon. Thank you very much for every sponsor, every donor. Sister Robin says, Assalamu alaikum. And thank you, Sister Lovett, for always showing love in the comments as well. Boom. Okay, so Brother James, let's go back to Brother Sterling's bean pie. So I never had a chance to taste the original. I never had a chance. That was before my time, so I didn't get a chance to taste it. But Brother Caleb, he lived in Atlanta for quite some time, and he would always make the bean pie. So I'm familiar with the passing down, the legacy of the bean pie. So praise be to Allah for that. Yeah. Sister Tracy says, can a woman start her own security company, and how long will it take?
Yes.
Steps.
Yes, yes, a female sister can start her own security company, just depending on where you live and going through the proper procedures and getting the business license, and then also what type of security company. You have security officers, security, and so security is such a wide range of topics that you can go under now with IT, cybersecurity, physical security, executive protection, mobile security, which are on boats. So it's a lot of different ways that you can go. So if you need help or advice, you can definitely reach out to me, and I can help just kind of get an idea of what you're trying to do. And depending on what state you're in and what their guidelines are of starting, getting your business open, that's what we'll do. And just seeing, if you make sure you have the right experience. And even if you don't have all the experience, but you have someone helping you that has a background in security or experience, you should do well. It's just one of the things that I tell entrepreneurs, whether they coming into security or any other business. Yes, one of the mistakes that I made was because I knew security, I started a security company, and I didn't have the proper understanding of business. So a lot of us, we could be the best cook, the best barber, the best auto mechanic, and that's what that you're a subject matter expert in that. But so because you can cook doesn't mean you should just go open up a restaurant that's going to be successful. You have to understand business and business development and managing. So when you can get someone like that that can help you with your expertise in whatever it is, then you'll have a better chance of being successful.
Okay, great, great. Thank you very much. And how can people reach out to you? Um, are you on social media? If they want
Yes, sir. I am on Instagram as TCPSBG. That's Total Cover Protective Services. The BG stands for bodyguard. You can DM me there. And I also have Facebook as well as James X Claggan on Facebook. And so you can reach out to me on either one of those sites, sis, and we can, get the ball rolling and see where you're trying to go with your security company.
Wonderful. Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. What has been your greatest trial, and how have you overcome that in life?
Wow, I'm going through that now. My father passed in 2013, and my mother just passed in April of 28 due to cancer. So I'm going through that now. But I think a lot that they left me and my brother and sister with a great foundation. So being that they're no longer here, what they left us and instilled in us, we can move on. Uh, so one of the things that I, would always have in my mother here, I'll be 48 in November, is where if I ever needed her or my father, it was there. Now they're not there. So all I can go off of is the lessons that they taught us and stand on that. So that's one of the things that I'm working on now. Just taking it day at a time. Some days are better than others, but I feel good that I had a great relationship with my parents, and they left us, instilled in me the best teacher that anybody can have on this planet with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So that, and then the brotherhood, they came, the ones here in Norfolk and reached out that knew my mother and me. They reached out well, MGT as well. So that's what I'm going through right now, because it was always there. Now that safety net is no longer there, and the safety net now, to me, is the lessons and everything that they taught me and my brother and sister to carry on in life.
Praise be to Allah. Beautiful. Yes, sir. And what has been your greatest joy?
Wow, traveled the world. I've been lucky to. Wow, I've traveled all over this world, and the beauty of it is a lot of the times that I traveled, it wasn't on my dime, So I got to go to a lot of beautiful places all around the world. So that was a great joy. Another joy is, when we were moving around a lot, with the minister on his different movements, that's some of the best fun you have, just meeting brothers from different cities and networking, and man, 20 brothers in one hotel room. And I mean, we had some fun times, So those are some of my greater joys, traveling the world and doing the work that we did, on different security details with the minister.
Wonderful. Yes, sir. Well, what has been your favorite detail, if you could choose one, with the minister?
Boy, I remember when the minister came to DC, and I was on his door, and he was playing his violin, and this, I mean, it was like I don't know, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'm listening, and I'm so glad he did, because I was like, whoa, this is, at 3 I had to get up and walk around. But when I heard him playing it, I said, man, is that the radio? Is that because it was so clear, and that was I think that was, because a lot of people I've heard people say they've heard the minister play the violin, or he come out the room and give them the greetings, or go down and get coffee or whatever. So that was my greatest joy. And one other time he drove I had a Navigator at the time. And so that was a more comfortable ride for the minister. So they switched out the vehicle that they had, and he got to, ride in my Navigator, for that whole security detail. So I was, that was a joy for me too. And was Brother Joshua. He brought me up to meet the minister and get a picture, and all that. So that was fun too.
Beautiful. Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. Excellent. What do you do for fun?
For fun, right now, just getting back to working out again. I fell off on that a little bit, so I enjoy. That's a good stress reliever for me. I enjoy traveling. So when I'm not on a detail or moving with a client, I like going to different places, with my family. Actually, we get ready to go on a family trip here next week. And so that's what I enjoy doing. The few brothers and sisters, we get that I'm close with, we can talk about, things that you can't talk to lost family about. We can talk about the baby plane. We can just, and whatever's going on in our lives, So I enjoy those times we can get together and we talk, hanging out with family, and love to travel and learn different cultures and see why people do what they do or act the way they act based off culture.
Wonderful. Praise be to Allah. Yes, sir. What advice would you give to future fathers?
But the advice I would give to future fathers is no book on it. It's trial and error. For me, I had a great example with my father, and some brothers in the ranks. Brother Nathaniel is, the things I see him do. It's a lot of great examples like that throughout the nation. So I would tell young fathers or new fathers that's, getting ready to become a new father, is to reach out and talk to seasoned fathers now, what they're going through or what they may be going through, and things that they should be looking for, or how you interact with your sons, or how you may interact with your daughters, and all of that is just information that you will put in your toolbox and use it as you need it. But you're going to gain your own experience as you go through fatherhood. You're going to learn your children. You're going to learn, your wife or the mother of the children, and how to interact and kind of, keep peace with, with your children.
Wonderful. Excellent advice. What advice would you give to future husbands?
Ooh, oh boy, same thing, bro. I mean, the best example is to follow the minister on anything. And Brother Nori has some great books out. Sister Ava has some great books out on relationships. And same thing, my parents were great to talk to. You see other relationships that's, 30, 40, 50 years, and they went through a lot, so you talk to those people. And that's what I try to do now. I just talked to Brother Kadir recently. I mean, he's been married for a while, and so I'm close with him, so I can ask questions and run things by him. So that's what I do. Brothers who's been in, and sisters who've been in the marriage game longer and who I see that looks successful and happy, those are the ones who I want to talk to and ask. Even the ones who've had some, has gone through a divorce, what happened and what mistakes that, you think you made that I can learn from, or, and once again, I just take the information and use it how you see fit, what's best for you.
Excellent. Praise be to Allah. What type of music do you listen to, sir?
Oh, I go in moods, but I'm a hip hop guy, but I can go gospel depending on my spirit. I can go smooth jazz, R&B. I love it all, man. I love reggae. Boy, do I love me some reggae. And I'm from Jersey, so I like house music. Then when I got to DC, they introduced me to go-go. I was like, man, this stuff a little wild, but the go-go, now that I'm in it, boy, I call that's the black people Holy Ghost there. You hear that go-go, you gonna move,
Yes, sir.
So yeah, so I love our music, man. When I was in Africa and I heard what it sound like go-go, it sounded like DC to me. And I said, man, this would be great for them, the DC people, the go-go artists can go to Africa and hear where they originated from and how DC put their own, they put their, Chuck Brown, may Allah be pleased with them, they put their own little spin on it. But I think that would be a great reunion to see how it's played in Africa versus how it's played in here in DC. So yeah, that's but that's good,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And
I think the song that the minister did, "Let Us Unite, Let Us Unite." That calypso. I think, man, they put a go-go or reggae beat to that, man. That's gonna be something there. But every time I hear that song, I'm like, wow. Yes, sir.
Great. If you can meet God face to face, what would you ask him?
If I can meet who?
God face to face. What would you ask him?
If I can meet God face to face, I would ask him God to help me be stronger in the things that I'm weak in, and to be a better example of what he represents. And the best example we have of that is the minister. But that's hard because so that's what I would ask, because to try to be a better example, to make him more pleasing with me and what I do in my everyday life.
Okay, great. Yes, sir. And if what would you think the guy would ask you if he saw you face to face?
What do I think God Wow, that's a good one. He probably, boy, what are you doing? What would he ask me? Wow. That's a good question. What would God ask me? I don't know yet. What would he ask me? That's a good one, Josh.
Okay. Yes, sir.
Now, yeah, that's a good one.
Okay. Yes, sir. What would you like your legacy to be, sir?
I would like my legacy to be a brother that strive to be a brother to everyone. And I always find myself trying to help. If I'm if I have something, like I go around and I teach women safety on safety travel tips. And so I'm always wanting to teach and give the information that I have, that I know that can help people. That's my legacy. I will, knowing that was able to help people with information that that they can use in their lives, and and learn different things from you. That's a great legacy for me. And then just being I love my children, um, being a great dad for them to know, when I come in and my little girls, that's the best feeling in the world. Those first 5 minutes when but after that, all right, yeah, I need a break, but you know, but those little girls, man, just being a great father and helping, helping out wherever I can, just be known to help out and with information that I may have that can help people in their lives. That's the real big thing for me is I'm real big on human trafficking. Myself, and Grandmaster Samuel Scott. And so for me traveling around the world, I picked up a lot of tips that we've done with VIPs that and I make sure that these that women know these tips. And for example, I'll give you a couple examples. And I see this a lot. The human trafficking industry is a $150 billion industry. So everyone is playing a part in this. So one of the things that I teach women, especially single moms, when you get into any of these car services, whether it's Uber, a Lyft, a taxi cab, or anybody that you don't know that's picking you up, always check the child locks first. Make sure those child locks are not on, because once you're in, you can't get out. And that's a major avenue that human traffickers use. If you're in the vehicle by yourself, sisters, always sit behind the driver. And the reason why I say I recommend you sit behind the driver, it gives you more of an offensive chance. You can, what I tell people is to grab them by their neck, choke, scream, stop the vehicle, stop the vehicle. If you have your keys or whatever, you can hit them in the neck, get some DNA or whatever, so you can be able to get out the vehicle. If you don't know where you're going and they're using Google Maps, you use Google Maps. If they're using Waze, you use Waze. And that way you can kind of follow on and see where they're going to make sure you're going to the right hotel or wherever that you may be going. When you get to the hotel, when you get to the front desk, I always tell them, don't say my hotel room out loud. And the reason why, because you don't know who's in the lobby and who's watching you. So usually I tell them that, and then once it's paid for, I take usually when I travel overseas, I would take the hotel room out of my name, and whatever country, if I'm in an Arab country, I'll use the Arab male's name. If I'm in London or the UK, I use a European name and put on my room. And if you get into the elevator, you're lucky to get into the elevator by yourself, then push multiple floors, because you don't know who's in the lobby watching. So, and if you get in the elevator and you have someone in the elevator with you, and you're on the 4th floor, go to the 5th floor, go to the 6th floor, and then walk down. And you just do this to put more security on yourself. I also teach how to secure your hotel room. It's different ways that you can secure your hotel room. There's some of the most common places that they put cameras in a hotel room is the outlets and the smoke detectors. So that's where they put a lot of cameras and hearing devices. I also keep with me my own, oh my goodness, drawing a blank, my own secure Wi-Fi adapter so that way when you're in the hotel, you got to do business or you have to have a personal, whatever you have to do, you have a more secured wireless. You don't have to use the hotel's unsecured wireless network. What else I teach? I also, when going out to dinner or going out to the clubs or whatever you're doing, I teach, and I teach a lot of men this too, about the dummy wallet. And what the dummy wallet is whatever country I go to, I keep $20 to $30 of whatever currency or country that I'm in. And I'll keep a fake, or I say expired debit card or a credit card in that wallet. So if you're ever in a situation where someone wants to rob you, you give them that dummy wallet, and the $20 to $30 of currency that they see, and they whatever country that you may be in, that'll be enough to draw them in. They'll take that and run off, and they won't have your major belonging, your major things in your wallet. One other thing, when you're traveling internationally, you can go on to the State Department website and put in whatever country that you're going to. They're going to give you a threat level on that country. And you should always let the embassy know, whatever country you may be going to, there's always going to be an embassy or a consulate in that country. And before you go, you should get in contact with them. And when you go on their website, it'll have the phone number and email for these people. And the reason why you want to do that, if you lose your passport, when you get to another country, you want to know where the embassy is. That's like home base. They also they could give you a phone number. They'll take your phone number, so they'll send out alerts. So if any information they need to get out to Americans that's in these other countries really quick, you'll get a text alert. They may say, stay, in your hotel room, or it's something going on, a demonstration is going on downtown, stay away from this area. Whatever they may deem a threat that could harm you, you'll be on that text list. So you'll know. And then also with your hotels, get an idea of how far you are from the embassy and where the embassy is when you travel to these different countries. Just so you know, and you have more of a reference of what's going on when you go into these different countries. So that's a lot of things that I speak on too.
Excellent advice, and people in the comments are saying excellent. Thank you, brother. Thank you, and I can't wait to put this on YouTube so people can continue to get this information. And I'll chop it up so our sisters and brothers can learn, how to move abroad. Thank you very much, and everybody. Whenever I travel, I always try to make sure it's not threat level midnight. Brother James, I want to thank you very much for coming on the People's Podcast. Thank you again for this great information. Thank everyone who's watching. Man, it's been informational, inspirational. I got 2 interviews coming up, one at 5, one at 7. Thank everybody who's watching. This is Joshua Muhammad signing off for the People's Podcast. Assalamu alaikum, sir.
Wa alaikum salam, sir.
Thank you very much.